Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 5 of Europa Universalis IV as Ming. Now in the last video there was something a little bit strange that I was trying to work out. Was under this Age of Discovery thing here, we actually managed to pick up this edict which says allows state edict feudal de jure law, which gives -5 unrest. Now one thing that I failed to sort of soak in at the time was that it said state edict, and I was going around looking at the individual provinces trying to find where you could enable this. One thing that I'd missed out is that when you click on a province now, you have this new tab at the top, because if you remember, you used to have a little button, a little pull-out here at the side of the province tab that would allow you to convert a territory into a state and also to automatically upgrade all of those territorial cores into state cores. That button has now gone and been replaced by an individual state tab up here above the province tab, because there's a lot more stuff to manage now. Now, I actually noticed that tab in the last few videos that I did, but I just sort of dismissed it because I'm so used to seeing the tab for trade nodes. So if you click on a trade node, you see the tabs for the other trade nodes, and I just assumed that that's what I was seeing there. But no, I'm not. So if you click on a province now, each province has a tab. Clicking on that tab will show you all of the provinces within that state. Now you've got those buttons that we talked about before. It tells you whether or not it is a state or a territory, gives you the button to change it into a state or a territory, and gives you the button to core all of those provinces. You also see a couple of other things in here, so you can see how much money you get from that state. You can mouse over it to see it by province. And you've also got the maintenance cost for those provinces as well. Now there's also this thing over here. This is called prosperity. As you can see here, it says currently at 3% progress towards prosperity. There's a 15% chance each month that we will progress our prosperity increase by 1 due to, and it just says Kizen, who I believe is most probably our leader, and is indeed, so our emperor. And it says +5, +5, +5. So he's getting probably 5% for each 1 point he has in his various different abilities. Now, once you actually get prosperity, you can see the effects that you have. If it becomes prosperous, it would get the following benefits. So reduced development cost, increased goods produced, and reduced monthly autonomy change. Now, prosperity can only happen if stability is positive and there is no devastation in the state. Well, we have positive stability, and there's no devastation. If we were to go and click on these individual provinces, we can see devastation here is all at 0. Now, from what I can tell, devastation is actually caused by looting provinces. So when you loot and take a province, it will get some devastation. So anywhere that has been looted, it will start to get devastation, and it does burn off. It goes down eventually, very slowly. But essentially that's what that mechanic is. So now that I know that, I feel a little bit more informed, and we can go and crack on with this game. What I would like to do, though, is have a quick look and see, do we have anywhere that's really important in terms of trade? And we do, for example, down here. We've got a state. This is Zhejiang. This is South Jiangsu. Unfortunately, they are two different states, but what there is, if we go back over to the state view, we've got this View Edicts button, and these are all of the edicts that we can enact. So most of these will just increase state maintenance by 200%. So basically, it doubles the amount of money that we're going to pay in maintenance. So for example, instead of paying 0.6 ducats a month, we'd be paying 1.2 ducats a month. But we could go ahead and enact a number of different things, including institution spread plus 33%, monthly autonomy change decrease, local defensiveness improvement, local development cost reduction. There's our feudal de jure law. It gives us reduced local unrest. Promote military recruitment, which gives us 25% local manpower. Local trade power plus 50%, and local missionary strength. We're going to go ahead and do this local trade power in this state. And we're also going to go and do it over here as well, because they're estuaries and coastal centres of trade. So hopefully they will improve our trade for us. So it's going to put our sort of costs up a little bit here. If we go ahead and have a look at our trade at the moment, we're making 11.3. So we'll just go and see what that says at the beginning of the next month. Hopefully it'll go up Let's just see what it gets onto for us, see if that was worth it. 11.44, okay, not quite as much as worth paying, but we'll deal with that over time. So we've got some islands down here that are uncolonised. We might be able to get to them. So who do we have CBs against at the moment? Still got some CBs against Oirat, but I can't actually declare on them right now. It would be nice to try and take some of this land from them. And if there's anybody around that isn't actually a tributary right now, we should probably try and take some more land from them. There are, of course, some conversions that we can do. We've been holding off on these where we can because we're trying to do this harmonising with religion towards Theravada, so we'll keep working on that. Is that right? Theravada. There we go. The exotic goods of Yeren. Our court in Beijing marvels at the great numbers of exotic goods brought by the tributary missions from Yeren. Enterprising officials and merchants alike have taken note of how sought after these items are, and alliances are being formed already. If we don't act quickly, it seems all but certain a smuggling ring will be set up to bring more exotic goods to the capital. So we can gain some corruption, and the Shangbang, who are the burghers, will lose loyalty, but we'll gain some trade efficiency and yearly prestige, or we can gain some mandate and give them some loyalty. Let's go ahead and do that. Reduces development cost down a little bit. So we'll allow things to carry on. We are still making money. We're still making 10 ducats a month, and that's even with the armies at full maintenance. Almost tempted to go and cull some of these cavalry. I'm not really sure that we need this many cavalry. We're massively over cavalry numbers, really. The Shizu, so again, they're one of the estates, and I'm never going to remember which one. So these are the clergy. So the Shizu has long been one of the foremost pillars in the Ming realm, providing not only spiritual guidance, but also administrators, judges, and diplomats for the benefit of our emperor. I could probably worked out that they were the clergy from reading that first sentence, really. In return for these great services, many donations have been made over the years, both by the state and by others to the Shizu. These gifts have over certain centuries made the Shizu quite rich and influential. Times grow dire, however, and the state has to cover an increasing number of expenses. Suggestions that perhaps the Shizu might make voluntary contribution have not been favourably received. So we can gain some money at the expense of them losing some loyalty and influence. Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and do that. Just have some free money. They're going to be disloyal for a while, but that's fine. So we've got some money. We could go ahead and get some more buildings. There's certainly trade buildings that we could potentially get, and there's a couple of places that would still give us a tiny bit more extra trade. So let's go and work on that one. We've got a rebellion. I wasn't expecting that to fire. That's because it didn't actually fire in my territory. It's fired in Mongolia. I could go ahead and march all the way over there and deal with that. We're still having some issues with manpower, but I will go over there and help Mongolia out. If anything, it'll make Mongolia like me a little bit more. So let's go ahead and prepare to march over there. Go ahead and deal with these guys. Somebody did suggest that I could use mercenaries to fight the rebels. Well, that's certainly not a terrible idea. However, at the moment, I'm already at the force limit. Although if we were to go ahead and get rid of a lot of the cavalry, it'd be a little bit of a waste of manpower, which is the only downside. If I went ahead and got rid of quite a lot of cavalry, though, we'd make a lot more money. Cavalry is expensive to maintain, and we've got a lot of cavalry at the moment that we really don't need. So let's dive in over here. Actually, let's dive in here first. It is a bigger army. We are fighting in step, but I was hoping that we'd catch them and they wouldn't get to move out. Unfortunately, they are going to escape from there, and we're going to have a nice big stack here that we're now going to have to fight. No, they're actually moving through, which is not such... In fact, let's stay here first and unsiege this, unless they're going to do it. Actually, they're going to do it. Let them unsiege. Nope, they're just going to avoid it. The reason I'm doing this is what I'm trying to do is attack this army, and this one hopefully will just stay on sieging and won't come and reinforce. But you never know, so... Our truce with Yeren has ended. And of course we will be returning some... We'll be liberating some provinces here for Mongolia, so that should make them like us a little bit more. We did get a crossing penalty there, which is unfortunate. We wiped those guys out, so let's just sit here and take this province back first. And the consort has died. That's not too much of a problem for us right here. And we've managed to get that back. So before they manage to go and take this one, let's go ahead and march over there. And we will do a shift consolidate just to make sure we've got nice, strong front lines. Should have waited, actually. We'd have got a reinforcement tick before I did that. That was a misplay. We could still go ahead. Oh, no, too late. I was going to say we could still go ahead and shift consolidate again, but it was too late to pull that one off. Either way, we should be fine here and be able to deal with this quite nicely. There we go. So let's move over there and take that back for them. And that should actually improve Mongolia's opinion of me. Not by much. Yeah, defended our provinces plus 20, liberated our provinces plus 25. So by those rebels spawning and me dealing with them, I've actually just got 45 influence with Mongolia. So that's not a bad thing at all. We will have to pull the armies back, of course. I don't think that liberating provinces stacks. Nope, still just plus 25. Even though we've now liberated a second province, so that's fine. We do potentially have some potential separatists. Quite a lot going on around Korchin. Unfortunately, there's not really a lot of point in trying to stop that from happening. It's almost certain that they are going to pop. So we'll go ahead and put these guys back over there. Hopefully they can deal with that. So if we look at our force limit, we actually have space for like 100 extra troops. So we could, not 100 troops, for 10 extra troops. Because we can go up to 103. So we could just get some mercenaries. Which might not be a bad idea. I'm still thinking though, really, we have far too many cavalry. 2 is fine. 4 is even acceptable. But having leaders at upkeep plus 1. Having 3 is a bit weird. Having 6,000 there is silly. Let's go ahead and split off 2,000 here. We'll go ahead and put you with an army that only has... so we'll try and have a maximum of 4 cavalry in each. Now, the ones that have got 3 cavalry, let's take you. Let's sort of even you out. So we'll take a cavalry from you. I just really don't want to disband troops because it's a waste of manpower. Also, as well, what are you doing down here? There's like a random rebel. Doesn't look like the sieging. Maybe he's just sort of passing through. Yeah, it looks very much like you're not getting involved with my stuff. You're just marching through. You're going to suicide yourself into those guys, surely. That was a very strange maneuver, even from the AI, but okay. Do we have our... No, we've still got our truce with you. How long is that going to be for? So our truce with you is up in 66, so still quite a while before we can do that. Our truce is up with Yeren, of course. We couldn't declare war on them, though, because we've got a royal marriage and they are our subject. Rebel Uprising, Korchin Separatists. These are the guys that are likely to pop around here, so we'll wait on those ones. So let's group you up. Now, you still have too many cavalry, so let's go ahead and split 2 cavalry off from you. Now, who just has 2? You just have 2. So we'll go ahead and group you up here. So we'll try and get these armies in roughly equal stacks if we can. So 12 and 4 is not a bad build. So this is 10 and 4. So we could go ahead and get like 2 extra infantry there. And even though these rebels are probably going to pop anytime soon, let's go ahead and get 2 extra infantry on that stack as well. There is a general consensus within the Imperial Court that the amount of fiduciary media in circulation is much too great. Money must be recalled in order for inflation to recede from its current level, but the question is how much money should be rebought. So we can gain 2 inflation, or we can lose 400 ducats and gain 10 mandate. Well, I don't like inflation, and really, to pay inflation down, you have to spend admin points. So let's go and spend the money to basically buy 10 mandate. That's not a bad thing at all. So let's go ahead and group you together. So you're a 12 and a 4. You will be a 12 and a 4. You are a 12 and a 4. You're going to be a 12 and a 4. You are a 12 and a 2. I'm not going to get 2 extra cavalry for you. That seems silly. You're already a 12 and a 4. And, yeah, so that's fine. So we can still have more force limit. So what I'm actually tempted to do is, at the slightly smaller stack, we'll actually get more infantry. We don't really want more cavalry. Cavalry is more expensive. We're still making money. We're still making 14 ducats a month, and that is really, really good. How is this progression getting on? It is getting there. Now then, have we worked towards any prosperity? I guess we should look in the capital. If we get it anywhere, it's going to be here. So it's currently at 7%, so we are actually getting there, which is quite nice. So what have we got here? We've got unrest. And we can see devastation. We can see fort level. And we can see the culture as well. Okay, so we do have a rebellion pop. And it's in this province here. We'll go ahead and march in. We should be okay. The rebels are usually easy enough to take on. Of course, again, it does harm manpower a little bit, but we should be able to take them out. Looks like Jiangsu might even be coming over here to help. Not that it should matter too much, because I think we've got it. And we have. Okay, so we did take some damage, but we are putting the rebellions to rest. And we are also... There's no need to stand there and attrition me out, though, is there? So we are starting to get rid of all of the general unrest around now. I'm still not too sure about this whole tributaries thing. I mean, I understand the way it works, but once I've actually got a tributary, then I can't attack them because they're technically my subjects. So it doesn't really give me a lot of opportunity for attacking neighbours. So the question becomes then, if I go ahead and tributize everybody that I can tributize, who do I then fight? I guess we could go after the Shanghai. So let's go ahead and... yeah, because we do have adjacency. So let's go ahead and build a spy network on you, I suppose. Are you allied with anybody particularly scary? With Nogai, which I believe we can... Yarkand is a vassal. I still believe we've got the manpower that we could deal with them if we wanted to. There's basically going to be them and the Oirat, the only real people we can deal with. Yeren are having some issues up here. I probably should go and help them out. I mean, they are technically a subject. We do have a royal marriage. So let's go in and try and help them. And we'll go and help take this province back. And once again, that'll be good because it will give us defended our provinces plus 10. And then if we go and unsiege this province, we'll get some... who's died there? An advisor. It was our military guy. Fort defense, land force limit modifier, or discipline. Let's go for the land force limit modifier, although we're not going to reach right up to it. A tributary mission is more than a journey to pay respect to the Son of Heaven. It is also an opportunity for trade with the Empire of Ming. Seeking to capitalise on this seems competing noble houses in Senwi, have taken to the habit of sending their own tributary missions to us, claiming to represent the king in order to gain advantages for themselves in internal politics of Senwi. This time, however, two such missions arrive at the same time in Jiangsu, which made their conflicts from at home erupt into bloodshed. So we can gain 15 admin power and the Yangzhou incident happens, or we can gain 50 Diplo. Let's have the incident just to see what happens, because I don't know what that incident is. Is it good? Is it bad? I do not know. Let us find out. Okay, so we've gone ahead and managed to do this now, so that should... give us even more. Yep, liberated our provinces plus 25. We can take a tech. We can actually take two techs. We're going to take our admin tech and we're going to take our diplo tech. So now we can pick a idea group, but we're not going to do that just yet because I don't know what we want to take. We're a few years ahead of time on all techs, which is pretty good considering we've only got a 1-1-1 leader. So that's not too bad at all. Do we have all of our forts on currently? I think we do. We do. Let's go ahead and mothball all of the forts. It'll save us some money. I like the ability to be able to automatically turn all of the forts on when you have a war declared, because it's too easy to forget to do it. But at the same time, I also wish it were possible to have them automatically stand down when you're no longer at war. Is this our automatic guy down here? Doesn't look like it is. Thought we did have a guy on auto. No, apparently we don't. So we should get the pop-up next month telling us that he's improved the maximum that he can. We're sucking up to Korea down there. I don't know why we're sucking up to Korea down there, but apparently we were, so fine. I'm improving relations with Mongolia still, which is good, because we do want them to be loyal. When they are loyal, which is nice. The aggressive expansion is burning away. Jiangsu might have to be our next target at some point. Good governance would sometimes prompt the nobility and businessmen of the realm to donate cash to the treasury out of pure patriotism or in exchange for the sales or transfer of honorary titles and positions. So we can either gain 200 ducats, we can gain 10 prestige, we can gain 200 ducats and 10 prestige, or we can gain 300 ducats. Well, we don't need the money, so obviously we'd like to take the prestige, but if we can take the prestige and the money, we might as well do that. That's also completed our accumulate money mission. So let's do our manpower needs to recover. We still need a ruler with an admin skill of 3 or a skill 3 statesman to do this, and 3 stability. We've got the money, just. But again, how are conversions doing? We could work on more conversions. We've still got these animist ones around. Let's go and work on a couple of them. We do still have a couple of provinces with unrest that could potentially pop. So even Korea is a tributary. I'm quite surprised that there isn't some way to try and integrate the tributaries. Almost like you can with a vassal. I'm surprised there's not an option for that. So what are we with Jiangsu? They're allied with Yeren. And we do have a royal marriage with them. Which I guess we can just leave be for now. Are there any buildings that we're particularly useful getting? What about tax buildings? No, none of them seem to give me a particularly big jump in tax money. There's a couple of 0.13s. But probably not all that useful. We've got enough points here to go ahead and... where are we? We're not allied with you, are we? No. We've got enough here to go and fabricate a claim. There's only one province we can fabricate a claim on, but there you go. We now have a claim on them, so we can go ahead and fight those guys. That, however, will be in the next video. So thanks a lot for watching. Hope you are still enjoying EU4 as Ming with the Mandate of Heaven DLC. Glad that we've now managed to, well, say we, it's not your fault, it's mine. Glad that I've now managed to find out how the whole state thing works. And it'll be interesting to see how this whole prosperity and devastation thing works, as well as starting to work towards more stuff on this Age of Discovery. I think that's going to be quite interesting. Before we do anything else, let's have a look down here. We've got a fair bit of meritocracy now, and we've even managed to get a fair bit of mandate, so it won't be too long before we can fire this off, which will give us an extra 5% trade efficiency and an extra diplomat. Very nice. So I'm going to end things there. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.